Hey guys, Peter Mercer here, and I am back in Northern Ireland. So this is the third room that you will see me filming in. But yeah, so I got back on Sunday, so I've just been packing my stuff out and sorting a few things and getting back to work again, which is not fun, but it's things you have to do. Anyway, I wanted to put up a quick video tonight. So I saw a video on Big J's Extreme Fitness, and he mentioned stretching in the video description, and it got me thinking about what do we as bodybuilders do before doing lifts. Was one school of thought which is that you do warm-up sets, so you basically take your main working set, do reduce the weight by about 50%, and do 15-20 quick reps, and then build up to 60% or so on, and then you work progressively up to your working set. And the idea behind this is that you're warming up the joints that you're going to be using for the actual lifting. Another school of thought is that you should do static or dynamic stretching, and this again will loosens the limbs and prepares the body for the physical activity. So yeah, when I was thinking about this a bit, and when it came to me, my approach was that I saw enough people that were doing the warm-up sets, thinking, well, that's that makes sense because you're warming up with the movement you're actually going to be performing. Surely that's the most efficient way to warm up for a work set. But now that I've been thinking about it a bit longer, it makes more sense now. I think personally to do some form of stretching before even a warm-up set, because I used to do I did a whole bunch of sports as a kid. I used to do trampolining, was a big one I was into, and the amount of stretching you did beforehand was essential to loosen things up. And another thing I got into was this thing called Alexander Technique, which is it's this really fancy technical thing. I'll put like some article detail in it. There's a great book on it, but it's really confusing, and I wouldn't recommend it if you're just in the fitness and bodybuilding. It's not going to work, but it's really on relaxing the muscles in the body. Then I came across an article on Rob Rich's website about self-myofascial release, and when he's got this foam roller, and basically you force your body weight on it and you roll your body along it to buffer out knots of lactic acid, and then when you get a particularly sore spot, you keep your body weight on it for like 1 to 3, 5 minutes, something like that, and then that helps buffer out, and that will make you more supple. So you've got a couple of different approaches that you can do. So what I first started doing was the warm-up sets, and then I saw about the myofascial release, and I mean you can get the foam rollers, you can get for, I don't know, $30 to $50, something like that there. I don't know what it is in the UK, but so Matt Ogus uses a medicine ball, and then for the more painful ones he uses a tennis ball. Much cheaper, much more effective. So I thought, well, what can I do? So I do. After that, I started doing the myofascial release, and I just use a firm basketball. It's exactly the same thing. All you need is a round surface that you can roll your body up and down along. And I haven't really looked into the static and dynamic stretching. I've only looked into it a bit recently. But it took me back again. Things I find the further I go on in everything that I do, that it tends to be when I remember something that I used to do that worked, and I've just stopped doing it for no good reason. It just happened. But I think my personal take on it now, I think definitely first thing in the morning, I always do my myofascial release, and that just buffers out all the acid I've had from the day before and the workouts. Because the first thing I do is I go for a run. I was a runner before I started lifting. And even though the people go on about you should only run twice a week, 3 times a week if you're cutting, things like that, which is a different video for a different time. I still I run 5 times a week. I just don't do it with high intensity. I do it for the love of it, kind of. So to help loosen the body, I always do myofascial release, and then what I'm thinking of doing now is to incorporate some dynamic stretching. So I'll probably do some more vague or total body movements, just to get flexibility and suppleness built up, and maybe do more isolation ones for the muscle group that I'm working that day. I haven't decided yet. Something I'll look into. I might post something up when I get that sorted out. But I think it's definitely something, you know, you want to improve your quality of life, and these are, you know, important things, because it's so easy to injure yourself when you're lifting seriously heavy weights, especially one if you do, you know, if you're doing it at the home gym, if you don't have a spotter, and, you know, all these different things can add up, and it's really easy to cause injury to yourself. I think it's a definite, it's a good way of preventing it, or at least helping. And you know, it might even help improve your lifts. I don't know. I haven't, you know, tried all of it really. All I know is that I feel a lot better and a lot more relaxed, and like, I just feel a lot better if once I've done my myofascial release and I've loosened up. So I'll try the stretching. I'll get back to you and let you know what I think. I'd like to hear back from you guys. Tell me what you think about the whole, you know, stretching thing, because there's so many different approaches to it and so many different ways you can look at it. You know, you can try, well, what's the most efficient, what uses the least amount of time. You know, can you overdo it? You know, if you push it too far, you know, can you injure yourself just, you know, by overstretching and doing that? You know, the body's really fragile, so, you know, it's definitely possible. So it's just, yeah, something I've been thinking about over the day. One other thing, which is pretty cool, is now that I'm here, we've got this big garden in the back, so I'm going to be filming my workouts over the next while, so you can see what I actually do when I lift. So it's something I've wanted to do for a while, but, you know, I've no real accessibility to film what I'm doing, so that's going to be up soon, so that should be pretty exciting. Big J's deadlift challenge, that's been going on for the last week or so. I think the last entry can be next Friday. So because I've already got back now and I'm getting back into my proper lifting routine after having done the outdoor urban stuff from last week, tomorrow is my leg day, so that's when I'm going to do my first shot for the deadlift challenge. I think at the minute the top place is 61 reps, so that could be tough to beat. The first one I saw was like 35. I thought, well, that's probably doable, that's okay, and then they kind of got bigger and bigger, so we'll see how it goes, and that will be up soon and shortly. But so that's what's going on with me. Just a couple of things. The main things really about the stretching. I'd really like to hear back from you guys about that. You know, that's my approach. I genuinely feel, you know, have a good feeling about the stretching. On top of that, myofascial release essential for what I do anyway with the amount of running. But yeah, so that's my topic of the day. Well, so yeah, I'd like to hear back from you guys. So that's it. I'm Pete Mercer. Take it easy.